What do you think the people that work for you say about you? Or at least, what do they say about your leadership style? Do you lead them the way that they want to be led? We're going to explore that today, so stick around. Hey, my name is Mike Phillips, and as always, for sales training, for motivational content, and to level up your leadership, make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss anything. Now, when the word leadership comes to mind, it's a huge category, and there's a lot of pieces that connect to encompass leadership as a whole. But today, I'm going to be specifically focusing on 4 primary leadership styles, so let's get right into it. Now, first off, we're going to talk about authoritarian leadership. This style of leadership centralizes the control. It has one person that's in charge. They're the authority, and that person is going to assign tasks, assign duties, give specific jobs to specific individuals as they see fit without necessarily consulting people within the organization. This type of leadership, authoritarian leadership, works well in the military. You have a hierarchy and you have one person that's in charge, and then the other people that work for them, the soldiers, are expected to fulfill their duties. They're expected to execute on their tasks as they are asked by the commanding officer. Now, this can be very beneficial in certain situations. For example, if we have to make a quick decision and we need to move forward right now. Sometimes there's not time to collaborate. It's make the decision and move forward. Authoritarian leadership is based on close supervision and clear-cut decision making. Now, one of the drawbacks in authoritarian leadership is often employees will only work as hard as they have to because the vision is not theirs. It's been dictated by the leadership in the organization, and so they work as hard as they feel they have to avoid punishment rather than really working towards a vision that they have belief in as well. Now, some examples of authoritarian style leaders. Bill Gates with Microsoft. When he was building Microsoft at the very beginning, he had the direction of the company and he explained to the employees, this is where we're headed and I need you to execute. Many people look at Bill Gates, he's a visionary leader and he's built an amazing company. He did so at the beginning. He didn't take a whole lot of other people's opinions. He gave clear-cut direction and he moved. Another example of an authoritarian leader would be President Donald Trump. Now, whether you love him or whether you hate him, he is an authoritarian leader that has built numerous businesses up to see high levels of success because he offered close supervision, clear direction. He told people what needed to be done, and then he ensured in his businesses that they executed on it. And he's seen success for it. Next on the list, we've got democratic or participative leadership. This is where the person that's in charge decentralizes the authority. They make it so that everybody has a piece of the action. And part of the way that participative leaders do that is simply by engaging in the activities that they're asking their staff to do. They say, hey, we need to go over here and do this, and let me go with you. They participate alongside their employees, which can often be very inspiring. An employee says, hey, as the leader, you're willing to do this? Great, I'm willing to get in behind you and do that as well. This type of leader uses influence and often uses negotiation and collaboration to be able to lead. They foster enthusiasm in these environments because each of the employees feels important. They feel like the leader has their best interest at heart, so that they want to engage with them towards the goals of the company. An example of this style of leader would be Walt Disney. Walt Disney was a very collaborative, participative leader. He was somebody that he was a creative, right? And so he wanted everybody else to engage with him and get their ideas and get their thoughts and lay it all out there so that he could get their buy-in. And then collectively, once the group made a decision, they all moved forward. And that allowed him to build an entire Disney empire. The third type of leadership is laissez-faire leadership, or free reign. This is the type of leader that they avoid taking the power or the responsibility, and instead they put the decision making and the authority onto their subordinates. They put it onto their employees. So they give very little direction, the total opposite of authoritarian leaders, right? People that are seasoned sales professionals, that are marketing consultants, work well under laissez-faire leadership environments, because often people that are doing well in those jobs, sales and marketing, are type A personalities, that they have their own ideas, they have their own direction, and they want to take that authority and run forward with it. This type of leader often plays a very minor role because the expectation is the people that are working for them will put in the energy, they'll put in their very best effort so that they can seek success, and the organization will see maximum results based on all these other individuals' talents and skills. Now, a great example of a laissez-faire leader that you would be familiar with, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is extremely successful, and part of the reason he's successful is because he gives the power away and he surrounds himself with people that are extremely talented, and he allows them to flourish. Now, the fourth primary style of leadership that I'm going to be talking about today traditionally has been called paternalistic leadership. I'm going to call it parental leadership. And a parental style leader, the engagement is more like that of a traditional family. You have the family and you have the head of household. That person that is the head of household is expected to protect the family. They're expected to provide for the family. So this type of leader guides and protects the people that work for them. And in return, they're expected to provide a good, synergistic working environment, a place that people are comfortable and that they feel safe. Parental leaders are ones that if a problem arises, that's the person that'll step in front. They say, hey, listen, you have a problem with my employee? Here, I got this. Talk to me, right? I'll take it on. And they build the enthusiasm and this devoted level of employees because the employees knows that this parental style leader has their back. A great example of parental style leadership, and one of my favorite all-time leaders, is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was somebody that when he was in charge of Apple, that was the family unit, right? Everybody in Apple knew that Steve Jobs had the company's back, and they knew that Steve Jobs had their back. He was somebody that was very charismatic and engaging and approachable, just the way a parent should be. So let me ask you, of those four styles of leadership, authoritarian, participative, laissez-faire, or parental leadership, which one are you? Which one do you think that your people see you as? I would love for you to continue the conversation in the comments down below. And until we speak next, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. We'll talk to you soon, everybody.